It's Stuart here from my shop, the Woolpatch, and welcome to the Lavenham Blue 2022 Collection Variegated Special Edition. Sounds very grand, doesn't it? But it's a special edition because it's really a trial. There are 7 hanks on offer here, and they're a trial because I have basically been tie-dyeing. Now, let me tell you more. WOAD is a pigment. It clings onto the yarn rather than chemically changing the structure of it. So in the usual circumstances like this, I dip it in and the WOAD just clings to it. And it's so good, it literally turns the hank beautifully blue. It's virtually a solid. There may be a few cases where you get a few pops and variegated streaks, but on the whole, they'll come out solid. But I wanted to play around more with those variegated yarns. You see them online from indie dyers. You get speckles, you get streaks, and you get all sorts of different colours. The only way to do that with indigo dyeing and the use of WOAD is like the old-fashioned tie-dye, and that's the use of a resist. And when you use a resist on the yarn, which could be tying some cloth around it, it could be squeezing it up to protect the white so the white doesn't get any WOAD to it, or it could be putting some cable ties around it. Whatever it is, you are putting a resist around bits of the yarn to protect the natural colour so the WOAD can't cling to it. So this is my attempt at variegated yarn using resist techniques. Ready? Now look at that. It looks phenomenal in the hank. It looks a little odd when you untwist it and open it up. But there. You should be able to see now. You can see where I've had the resists. I was using some silk ribbon because I can dye the ribbon at the same time, the silk ribbon, which took it beautifully. But there, you can see where I've tied that around the hank. And I had fun with placing the resists. So you can see that one has actually got a lot. This is version number 2. So if you liked what you saw there, that's version 2. Remember, there are 7 versions available. So that's version 2. But as you can see, when you've twisted it up, look at that. If you're doing a shawl, socks, small project, you would then get a very good effect. I don't know what type of effect because it's the first time I've done it, but I'm sure it would be a beautiful effect. So there we go. So let's re-hank number 2 up. There. So that's version 2. That's version 1, 2, version 3. Now, version 4 and 5 are slightly different. Rather than playing around with resists and protecting certain parts of the yarn to have white bits and streaky bits, I played around with the time in the vat. So we've got natural fades. Look at that. This is version number 4. Now remember with WOAD, the longer it's in the vat, the darker blue it goes. So this is lighter blue and we've got our denim there. That's because this has been in the vat the longest time, and then last bit came in and had 1 minute in the vat. So hence the lighter colour. So you can see where that fade happens, and that's purely just for messing around with time. So there are 2 fades. That's number 4 and number 5. Number 5 is there. You can see, look at those lighter blue parts. Number 6 and number 7 are trials of resists But the white seemed a little bit too harsh for me, so what I then did was I dipped it all again. But I only dipped it for a minute. So the white bits now become pale blue. So, oh, you've got a little bit of almost white there. But hanks 6 and 7, the white bits are basically sky. Here's a beautiful example. This is hank number 6. So if I was doing hank number 1 and 2, that would be a definite white. But I thought, oh, what would happen if I put it in the vat for a minute? It might take off the harshness of that white, and then you get lots of different fades there. So that's hank 6 and 7. So hanks 1, 2, 3 are resists, which has the white protected. 4 and 5 are played around with time in the vat, so no white bits. 6 and 7, they were dipped with a resist around the white, but I re-dipped it again quickly, so the white bits are now sky blue. So there we are, a limited edition, special edition. I've called it the Variegated Collection, the Lavenham Blue 2022 Collection Variegated. It's out, go get it now. Only 7 hanks. Who's gonna get there first? Thank you very much for taking the time to watch and to invest in the yarn and my shop. Much appreciated. Bye bye.